Stewart here from Drone Film Guide, the channel where we learn to fly like filmmakers. Those of you who have followed this channel or who have taken part in our 8-hour drone cinematography masterclass, a link in the description below, will know that in order to create nice compositions, one thing you can do is to have a focal point, something that I can latch onto in that frame. It creates a more pleasing composition, a better story. It can be tricky to do though when you're out there flying your drone in these big landscapes because you might have slim pickings when it comes to focal points. So you can be an interesting subject and you can be the focal point. But in order to get yourself away from just those simple kind of drone selfies, you need to put a little bit of thought into it. So we're going to talk about that now. First things first, thank you Soundstripe for sponsoring this video. We've been customers of Soundstripe for 3 years, so it is a pleasure for us to bring their services to your attention. There comes a point at which scouring the internet for free music is an unproductive, useless waste of time. So paying a small monthly or annual subscription to access a good quality library of royalty-free music is worth every penny. We've put a link below to a playlist of 10 cool tracks that we've used for editing our drone montages to on Drone Film Guide, so do check that out. And if you are interested in anything they have to offer, you can secure a 10% discount using the link below. So before we start zipping the drone around our head with intelligent flight modes, what exactly are we trying to do here? We're trying to create an interesting storytelling shot that gives the viewer a reason to keep watching. One of the best ways of doing that is creating suspense. Don't lay all your cards on the table in the very first frame. Either move the camera to reveal new parts of the composition or have elements of the composition come into the frame. So in this case, you come into the frame. Now at its most simple level, this means you don't even have to have the drone moving. Set up a nice composition and have yourself walk into the frame. You'll see this all the time on TV, and some of the best drone shots that we've done just follow this simple pattern. Use the drone to access nice compositions and locations that you couldn't have otherwise done with a tripoded camera, and then bring yourself into the frame. That is a storytelling shot. That is already so much better than just a standard selfie with you standing with the controller in your hand. Practically speaking, this is one of the best shots you can do as well, because all you have to do is take off the drone, put your controller down, and then you're good to go. Run through the frame from left to right, point the camera straight down and use it as a bird's eye shot. Have yourself come into the frame and then stop and look into the distance. By using that simple storytelling device of creating suspense, you've completely transformed your ability to use yourself as a focal point in your drone cinematography. The second great way to film yourself with a drone is Active Track Spotlight. A recent discovery for me, I absolutely love it. Now at its simplest level, the drone just hovers there and the camera follows you around. So that means the drone is safe, you can put your controller down, it's out of the shot, and the drone's camera will just follow you around as you move. The beauty of this is that your movement through the frame opens up new parts of the composition. So you can use your movement knowing that you're walking this direction and that the drone is going to tilt up and reveal the landscape in which you are situated. So you can use it to still create those storytelling, suspenseful shots. Added to that, when you're walking or running through the frame, if you have the controller in your hand, you can push forwards, back, left, right, and the drone will move as well. So you can add some extra layers and create a really interesting composite move. With the Mavic 2 Pro, you have sideways facing sensors as well, which are very useful, so it's a fairly safe mode to use. The only tricky thing is to kind of hide that controller if you're bothered about having that in the shots. Active Track also has the profile and trace modes. Trace when it follows you from behind and just goes wherever you go, and profile when it follows your profile from the side and just tracks alongside you. They're both great modes. I found them to be a little bit unreliable in as much as they can hunt a little bit and that can spoil your motion. Added to that, it will lock you into the center of the frame, which is not always the most pleasing composition. So out of the Active Track modes, I certainly find the Spotlight mode the most useful in this respect. Third up, we have Point of Interest, which I absolutely love, those automated rotations. The beauty of Point of Interest is that it's not trying to be too clever and do too many things at once. It just creates those circles. Thereafter, you can do with that as you wish. So set up your circle, then walk into the frame, pass through the frame, stand off center, do whatever you want. It's a great mode for filming yourself. Fourth up, we have the quick shots. Now, I think the circle quick shot, the helix quick shot, and the boomerang quick shot are absolutely brilliant. I'm not too struck on the others. What's an absolute tragedy, however, is that the quick shots force you to use DJI's automated modes. So in the Mavic 2 Pro, at least, I can only do a quick shot in 30 frames per second with automatic exposure and automatic color settings, which is absolutely useless for me because I shoot in 25 frames per second, so I can't comfortably integrate that footage into my workflow. Now, I think they do that because the quick shots originate from this notion of selfie mode and all that kind of stuff, which is all just a bit of fun for hobbyists, but they're really not. I think they're actually fantastic tools for vloggers and bloggers and all the rest of it, people like us that go out and want to create some cool footage of ourselves because we don't necessarily have someone to fly a drone on our behalf. So I think they are very, very useful. So I really wish DJI would give us full manual settings on those quick shots, because otherwise that would be my go-to place for filming myself with a drone. Fifth and finally, there are many situations where you can use full manual control by having the controller in your hand to control the drone but still keep it concealed from the drone's camera. So you can do overtakes of yourself, you can do rising crane shots. The sky's the limit as long as you have a little bit of creativity in how you're going to position that controller to keep it out of the shot, if of course that matters to you. So those are the techniques I've used over the years for filming myself with a drone. I like to try and be a little bit deliberate about what I'm trying to achieve. Yes, you can have active track, just scream the drone about your head, doing all these kind of rotations and all that kind of stuff, but more often than not, you're going to reveal something in the frame that you don't want to see, and it's not necessarily adding any value to the shot. So just slowing things down a little bit and thinking about what you're trying to achieve, thinking about creating suspense, just moving your subject through the frame, the subject being you in this case, and you can create a nice storytelling shot. So next time you go out for a drone shoot, instead of just doing shot after shot of the landscape, try and tell a story about your own journey. Not every shot has to be all the way up there. Keep it nice and low and just walk past that drone. That can be a nice shot as well. You can kind of mix the idea of aerial footage with non-aerial footage, even though you filmed it all on your drone. Just takes a little bit of thought, and I promise you, if you do get into that mindset, the rewards are tremendous. Anyway, thank you Soundstripe for sponsoring this video. If you're creating drone montages, do check out the playlist in the description below. As you know, we have a gorgeous drone cinematography masterclass. We launched version 2 not that long ago. It's gone down a storm. I definitely recommend you check out the link in the description to that. And until next time, happy flying.